What up, Pineapple Leaf? It is the People's Cult Leader, Brock Lee. And I'm here to talk about, in this video, my favorite recovering tools. First and foremost, I'm going to start off with, after my runs, the compression socks right here. These are recovery socks by CEP, C-E-P. They are infrared, so they have those infrared technology built in right here throughout with the compression to help the blood circulation recover your legs and to get that blood circulation flowing into your legs to help repair your damaged muscle fiber tissues and to help speed up recovery. A lot has been said about infrared, but infusing that with the compression I feel like makes a noticeable difference in my recovery. I really love CEP, is probably, if I'm even saying it right, CEP is my favorite compression for a compression athletics running brand. I highly recommend this CEP compression socks. They are high enough to go over your knee. The reason I don't have it over this knee is I did fall on it twice, so I have a cut over that I don't want to irritate any further and not exacerbate the problems, and let it heal, get some airflow. And it's hitting it on the same spot twice in 2 falls on a run is one of my least favorite things to do. That was not conducive to helping my recovery, especially since my knee has been a little bit achy. And another thing that's really good after your runs is elevating your legs. So using this, you can put it up on like your ottoman or on your bed. Is like kind of like a leg elevator foam pillow you can look up, and they have all various different types online. Plethora of options and myriad of choices. And I highly recommend elevating your legs for at least 20 minutes above heart level after a run. You don't want to do it like crazy long elevate. Like one time I used this, elevated all night in bed, and it kind of put extra joint pressure on my knee, and I woke up and it actually hurt more because it didn't have like full support under my whole entire leg. So yeah, just elevate for at least 20 minutes. Sometimes I just like lie down in bed and put my legs up on the wall for over 20 minutes, and then I'm done. Ice. So I have these ice pads that you can put. This one I like to put over my knee. You just put it in your foot, roll it up. It feels good. You could they have different sizes and stuff, and you could even just put it over your shin, depending on where. But I like rolling this over my knee the most. You can put it over your thigh. You can put it over a lot of body parts. And here is one that you can wrap anywhere as well. You just wrap it with the Velcro, like so. Pretty simple. I like to put this over my metatarsal injuries that I've been having on my feet, the top of my feet, with the swelling, to help reduce swelling. And you leave that on as well for at least 20 minutes. Ice compression, you want to leave it on for 20 minutes at minimum. You don't need to leave it on too much longer than that. And thirdly, and also I would like to talk about this ice bucket here. They have even like little Epsom salt balls to throw in there for. Sometimes I'll throw a bunch of ice in there with some Epsom salt and soak my feet for at least. When you do ice baths, you want to soak for at least 3 minutes. I do longer than that. I think the max is like 20. So every once in a while, I'm way overdue. I need to soak my feet in some Epsom salt and some ice. And I actually have an ice block chilling in the freezer.
It's a water refillable ice block storage container.
That is I could just dump in there with some really cold water and it does the job. And just to get the Epsom salt going, I'll just throw one of those in there. I actually have a bunch of Epsom salt in a jar in the bathroom. But thirdly, I already did a review on my Hoka recovery slides over there. But that's another story. I love those things. the two Hoka recovery slides that I compared. But I also have a pair of UFAs in here, and these are the nice UFAs that are that exploded with popularity. My red Hoka slides, those are for outside. This is specifically, I only wear these inside for when my feet are like really tenderized and brutally beaten, and I will be walking around in the abode in these just to keep it a little extra pressure off my feet on the hardwood floors. Yeah, surprisingly, this, even just like say you're walking around all day in your place, on even on a recovery day, I mean, that's a lot of steps that you're walking around on hard floors where you're just like really trying to have a full-on recovery day, and you might have a little bit of a nagging injury. Those take a lot of the pressure off.
These UFAs are really soft and comfortable.
Then we can roll into this. This is a scraper that you can scrape along any body part to elongate the muscles and kind of stretch them out. And if you do it enough, you do it really slow. I like to do it in that one direction. It's supposed to also help in a specific area. Like say you do it on your arm or your thigh, anywhere else, and it's gonna roll out blood flow to that area. So you can do this in any area, and it's gonna help stretch out those muscles, promote blood flow to that area of need that you are choosing. And up next is a massage gun. Every runner should have one of these. And there's the, right next to the Nintendo Switch controller, kind of like an attachment like that. It's a long
bullet finger knot attachment.
More firm attachment to really get into those trouble areas. This is the pretty like basic one that's going to be used the most on any area, on most areas of your body. And here's all the attachments right here for different parts of the body. I know what that one's for. I actually wish I would have opted out for the top of the line massager,
like the Theragun instead.
And it has all the way up to 6 settings. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it has the battery indicator. This battery, when charged, lasts a really, really long time on the sharper image. But I wish I would have gotten the most expensive Theragun. Apparently that thing is the best, and everyone recommends it. And yeah, massaging parts out, super helpful. Let's just say we're having a shin splint. Also promotes blood circulation in that area and helps massage out all those toxins, and breaks up all those toxins and muscles to help recover. It really does. Every runner should have one of these. Rolling that out over that area, and all these muscles connect, which sometimes you might have like some really tense, wound up muscles right here. Roll that out. That's even going to help
connected muscles in other areas.
That's even going to help areas like your knee, because when you think about it, sometimes when this gets really tight and knotted up and they're not stretched out, massaged out, like these muscles, say if they're really tense and tight, think about the muscles like this, is if you have a sock and you just kind of keep doing this to it and you're just pulling the muscles, it's going to feel really tight on an area, and it's going to pull those muscles, or it's going to like really knot those muscles up, and they need to be stretched out so that they have more flexibility, range of motion. So this, really tight, really tense, really knotted up stuff like getting massage and or massage gun is really going to help really stretch out, give you that range of motion you're going to need, and unlock your full potential of your muscles. These, I have several of these. These are toe stretchers. You just put these on over your toes, and it helps stretch your toes out, and like as they imagine they're gonna stretch outwards like that on your toes, and they're gonna like separate your toes like that. So it's gonna help stretch. Kind of you want to stretch your body parts. Yes, your toes are super important. Your feet are the most important for running because all that stuff is connected, and stretching that out just like any other muscle for better range of motion is going to help. We are brutalized running feet. Do not date a runner if you are into foot fetishes. That's why I'm wearing socks for this video.
For real though, my feet aren't that bad.
Up next, along with massaging, this is a massage roller. So this one is bendable. So like when you do massage, let's do the calf again as example. So I don't have to look at my hairy legs. Yes, I stopped shaving because I'm not as aerodynamic. But you can hold each side with one arm, and it's gonna bend. Like this one is flexible and it's gonna wrap around. So like say like you see the bend and flex in this. So say if you put this on like your thigh, your calf, wherever,
Creating a wraparound effect to target more area. I've been kind of fandangling my camera phone while trying to do this, which has been tough. Hey, look, I'm all better now.
that was a terrible example of using that massage tool. And then now on to some pressure trigger point for the bottom of your feet. The most simple one, if you don't have a lot of time, is going to be this, like just a straight up, like easy, simplified massage roller. That is just going to be like a quick, like roll out your whole entire foot, every area all at once. Not really very targeted, but it's just going to be like an overall roll the bottom of your feet out. Like, and massaging, rolling your feet out is immensely important. I think that's where I had a lot of pain and foot, like some small, like a lot of these foot injuries that are kind of, that have accumulated and built up are because I have not been rolling my feet out. Actually, next would be, some people like to put a tennis ball with alongside another tennis ball in a sock and tie it and roll their feet out. But this is pretty, like, you would have to have some really, really tender feet to be needing something like this. That's gonna really hurt. This doesn't really do a lot for me, but apparently some people it does. I do have it in case, but I think after a marathon, something like a tennis ball is gonna, you might be able to feel that. Then on to the nubs that I got from Fleet Feet online. I got this from Fleet Feet as well. This was highly recommended, and this is the one I recommend the most, is the R3 roll. But I have a softer nubs ball. I don't know if this one is nubs or not, but it's this one, whatever this is. I keep this on the cycling mat. Then I have this hard one. This is a nubs ball, or rubs, and I got this from Fleet Feet as well, but this one is much firmer, much more hard, and they both are great for different things. But like if you're really tender and you need a like Max Cush recovery, you can think about it like a Max Cush running shoe with the extra foam stack height. That's gonna be a lot more like soft. It's like a little firm but not too firm, versus your more firm tempo shoe maybe. This is gonna be the one that you can really get in there. You can even really put a lot of pressure on one point that you want to target and roll it out. And this is going to be much more targeted than something like that, you know, pink roller right here. And then this R3 is you put your foot in the middle, roll out that middle part of your foot, and then all these have a purpose. The middle left, the mid left, and then this left part right here that's really more angular, more sharp. This is like my favorite part. I really like the parts that I really like the massage tools that really get in there and roll it out, like so I can get any part of your foot really, but it's kind of that kind of caves into, so you put your foot in here and it's going to target the outside of your feet right here, like this side. Same with this side right here. It's going to massage inner bottom right part of your foot, and then this is going to target the kind of right wall of your foot right here. So this is, alongside something like this, is going to be your best bet. And then on to trigger point. I have a trigger point ball. You can put this on a wall and put your back against it. Something like a ball like this is really can target specific areas. You can get on the ground and roll out and just kind of firmly place a body part that you want trigger point with this ball. So you could like just kind of lie down, bear the weight of something like a knot or something you're kind of feeling like in your thigh, or kind of roll it and just kind of like let it sit there until you feel it kind of melt away of some sort of trigger point. So yeah, you put this on the wall and target places in your back, your chest, kind of when you push to hold it up as you push your body into it. This is great. This was recommended by a lot of running channels. The trigger point roller, this one has it all. It has different purposes for different areas, for different knots, specifically like little sharp knots you want to get right here, some long ones. This grid trigger point TP therapy, this is going to be the best of the best right here. So after one of my marathons, I was barely lying down rolling up my thigh on this one. And
that's how I could tell it was useful, was when I was that sore after a marathon race. You could feel it just by barely lying on it. So it's definitely effective for sure.
Really targeting areas that I was having problems with. Even in your, even like I was rolling part of you can even roll it and target your groin, and you can kind of let it sit there for a while too to target certain problem areas. And even kind of roll, like lie down and kind of roll your like calf over it if it's like really tender, or like push your back hand behind you, roll it. There's all sorts of tutorial vids on how to use a massage roller, and I'd recommend looking some of those up. But those are some of my favorite recovery techniques after a run. Like I said, here's some more of my toe spreaders. And there's a massage, and there's a trigger point, back roll out stretcher right there that you can adjust the different settings and to how high you want it to arch on your back. So again, these are just some of my favorite recovery, everyday, simple hacks, running hacks that are going to help you recover better in your off time, because no days off isn't just about like training every day. It's really, no days off means incorporating your training into everyday life. So, getting your static stretching in after a run,
dynamic before a run,
your warm-up stretching before a run, which I'll do a video on later, recovery techniques, nutrition, sleeping, which, speaking of which, I do need to go to bed soon. I know I'm a night owl, but I really got to take that no days off mentality to heart a little more and take my own advice and get to bed earlier. So I'm going to do that, because rest is going to be your best recovery to repair all those damaged muscle fibers. Sleep is by far the most important, and that is like my biggest problem, or one of them, I should say. I've been getting better at getting to bed earlier and getting more sleep, but I used to be really bad. I used to have sleeping problems pretty bad. Exercise has helped me fall asleep earlier and get better sleep, actually. I have days on my days off where I'm just sleeping 10 hours and just wanting to, so since I don't have to get up and go to work early. And I feel like I could just stay in bed like all day, just sleeping. So, yeah, those are just some of my favorite recovery tools and techniques to help spread along. Just share with you Pineapple Leaf, and I'll see you running ninjas out there, running them streets, cutting through the night like sneaky ninjas through the shadows and over rooftops, and spreading the word far and wide. All right, peace out, Pineapple Leaf. Ninja vanish. Actually, stay till the end of the video. I did forget one piece of recovery tool that I need to highlight.
On this last long run, I felt absolutely trashed, wrecked garbage. Right at about the 7.3 mile mark. But still needed to target that time on feet. It was a pure slog and sheer willpower, baby, to get through this one. Mental toughness. Visiting dark places, but that is part of the training as well to overcome.
Not every run is going to go well, and when you're feeling like absolute garbage, you can't quite skip these kinds of last workouts before your marathon coming up. So my 18.2 mile long run on the track, which incorporated pretty much nothing but marathon pace miles, which were sub 3 miles, and this was my longest long run for this training block for time on feet before the marathon, which is crucial.
I'm out here.
So this is the wad fitter I was talking about. It's pretty much a compression wrap where you target an area that you're having problems with. For the goal is 20 minutes. So you unwrap this bad boy like so. Just let it kind of unfold. If you're filming a YouTube video and only have one hand to do so, but typically I like to unwrap as I wrap.
Pressure as you wrap
to unfold.
and go over.
Or be born into a family with the most resources.
About halfway
But we can choose to be the most committed.
over the
That's why I love the daily grind. It's a choice to wake up every day.
over the
To execute
halfway mark of each band.
that we laid out against our goals. We can't choose to be the tallest or the fastest or the strongest, but we can choose to be the most committed and to execute.
That halfway mark.
And not everybody makes that choice.
So if you want to target some knee problems you're having,
A lot of people watching the channel. That's what you guys choose too. That's the Supwell way. Choose commitment.
you're just gonna
And consistency.
halfway mark over.
It's not always foliage and blue skies. Sometimes it's faded legs and cramping thighs.
You're gonna pull as you go. You don't want it to be tight, but not too tight,
It's a mile 22.
because you don't want to like cut off circulation, but you do want that blood flow. And then just tuck it under the end, under the last wrap, and pull a little tighter, and just kind of doing this one-handed, just as an example. Tuck that underneath.
For me, if I don't feel properly before,
You want to give yourself enough slack, but also make it tight to where it's pulling. Wrap it underneath, and let that sit for at least 20 minutes. Put the timer on. It's a little too loose, but this is just an example. You want this to all be kind of snug, pulling in firmly, but not too tight.
finish the run, I'm not a complete mess.
You probably want it to look more tucked in, like that.
I'm gonna need to make sure I get some rhubarb and custard.
You're gonna kind of want it to look more tucked in like that.
I'll see you guys back up.
You want it to be like a little more tight like this. Shout out Yawana.
Rhubarb and custard. That's wild. They're geniuses over there. Mad science.
Vegan runner, PR running his marathon 2:39 at Chicago. When we say no days off, this is part of it. Sometimes it's fun. It's nice to have a YouTube channel you can go to for inspiration and learning about running as you're hanging out, maybe eating, kind of almost like a TV show. And this is probably the top channel I'd recommend to watch if you want to get better at running.
Out, man. Let them go Christmas shopping. That's fine. We're gonna be emptying the tank. They're gonna be eating turkey and stuffing, laying up watching football. We're gonna be getting the miles in. The only thing I'm mashing this year is kilometers. No potatoes on my table.
Hella yeah, y'all wanna. Rad life, y'all wanna.
This boy's still trying to talk to me about science. Up in the comments talking about Steve Magnus. They call me Steve Swagness. Talking about Tim Noakes. They call me him Noakes. It's Mr. Mac Daniels out here. And guess what, man? I've got a PhD too. Pain, health, and dedication.
Is blue.
Now I'm doing this leg for 20 minutes. This is properly wrapped. Still watching this Yawana video as he's reviewing the shoe and his long run.
Just as good as when I first reviewed it. Even better maybe because we did a long run today. First run was only 10 miles. So this is up there in the top tier. This is up there in the top tier with the Endorphin Elite, with the Alpha Fly.
My favorite reviewer for shoes. He's constantly reviewing shoes. But yeah, you want it to look more like that. It's a lot tighter.
I would take this
Thoroughly wrapped.
because it has more of that streamlined feel, and I prefer it for race day. Cloudboom Strike is a more comfortable shoe. Maybe I would take that as a long run cruiser when I'm not picking it up. But man, this is a top tier shoe. This might be tied with the Endorphin Elite for me.